Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Lucas Home. I'm here rocking with SoundCase at Ms. Market.
Son, try to lean back, but shit, I'm not done. I'ma need faith to know that I won. I'ma need space to know that I'm one.
I wouldn't really say there's any significance behind my artist name aside from the fact that, like, I chose it myself. Because, back in the day, I had a different artist name, and I felt like it was kind of given to me by the city. So, after a couple years making music, I felt a little bit different. Felt like I had a different identity. So, I just sat down one day. I wrote down like maybe 100 names on a sheet of paper. And when I wrote down Lucas Home, it just it just felt right. I don't know, it was like a puzzle piece fit in correctly. So I chose it, and it worked. Everything worked out fine with it. So that's pretty much how I feel about that. When did I realize I could make a career out of music? That happened 100 times in my life where I would just have these moments of grand delusion thinking, oh, I'm gonna be a rapper, I'm gonna make it. But I think when I really realized that I would make a career out of it was like maybe when my first song passed 100,000 streams on Spotify. I was like, yeah. And I started seeing some money in my bank account from music. That was when I was really yeah, this is no problem. This is easy. I could do this all day, all night type shit. My biggest inspirations are my friends, creative peers, people that I see on the internet. I feel like when you got a lot of money and a lot of people working on something, it's really easy to be inspired by, I don't know, a pretty picture or something that's cool or something that sounds great. But when you see people just left to their own devices creating things man, a lot of these kids are getting hired by movie studios and labels and stuff like that. So it's I just get inspired by, I want to say everyday life in a funny way, but it's those are the things that really, I'm a lot more likely to, get up and try to go out and do something when I see someone else, at my eye level doing it too. Anybody who displays that level of stature and I see it on display, that's what I'm saying. It just inspires me. I'm inspired by strong people, and I feel like that's the best I could put it. Where do I see myself in the next 3 years? Honestly, couldn't even tell you where I see myself tonight, if I'm being frank. I kind of just take it day by day. There's another thing about being an artist that's kind of cool and being on the come up or even having some success already. It's you don't know, it's just one day you could be here at Ms. Market with SoundCase, and then on Friday you could be performing in Jimmy Fallon, you know what I'm saying? So it's gotta be ready for it, and I feel like I am. It's just every day it's a new thing. It's a new universe every day, so I like that, and hopefully I'm alive in the next 3 years, but it's I don't know, honestly, and I like that. I like that I don't know. My advice to any artist aspiring to do music, I would just say, try hard. When you're trying really hard, truly, it's you don't even gotta say it, you know what I'm saying? Because you just know, it's hard work, and just be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself in a way that is compassionate to you. If you're making music for a long time and you don't have the fans or the streams or whatever that you're looking for, it's there is a chance that it might be something that you're doing. It doesn't mean you're bad at music, but it does mean maybe you're not presenting yourself correctly, whatever the case may be. I feel like a lot of artists, they may make the mistake of being too attached to the music that they make. When you conflate your ego with your art, it's very easy to be shot down and just get hurt when someone doesn't like what you're doing. Be honest with yourself, but also learn, it's a product. When you make music, you're selling a product to your fans. Have that with your music, with everything that you do, and just, like I said, just don't downward spiral, just keep it pushing. So that's the best advice I could give to any artist aspiring. How do I stay grounded and motivated when things get tough creatively? It's just, I feel like for me, the staying grounded thing is hard, because sometimes it's you start to see a little bit of success, and then it's you want to pop your shit, whatever, but it's that none of that is real aside from in your head. Also, whatever, when things start going well, sometimes you may take your foot off the gas a little bit. So it's there's a lot of nuance and complexity to music, and when to surrender and when to go out and get it. That's one of my biggest struggles in life, actually, funny enough to know that, because sometimes I want something and I wait for it and it never comes until I get up and I go out and get it. And then sometimes I gotta let things just come to me. I think, mindfulness, not to sound super cliche, but just practicing mindfulness, allowing things to happen, surrendering to the moment. There's just some things you just can't predict. Do what you can, make sure that it's honest work. People are much more interested in who you really are than you might think. It all ties back together, and when you have that moment, you're all one. That's how I stay grounded. Granted, like I said, one of my biggest problems that I deal with, so I'm not perfect with it either.